If you are an investor looking for low cost exposure to take focused stocks, then this video is just for you. Imagine turning a $10,000 investment into over $55,000 in just a decade. It really sounds amazing. However, before we get too excited, it's important to have realistic expectations. Despite this ETF's phenomenal track record, we need to understand what makes this ETF great and what you can expect moving forward. In today's video, we will dive deep into why this ETF Qqq is a top choice for tech investors. We will check its historical performance and what you should keep in mind before adding this ETF to your portfolio. So watch this video until the end because by the end of this video, you will have all the insights you need to make an informed decision. So let's get started. Thank you again for joining me today. I am Pankaj. As always, everything shared in this video is for informational purposes only. Today we are diving deep into a booming ETF that is trading just below its record high. When people talk about the stock market, they often think of S&P 500 index. This S&P 500 index includes the 500 largest profitable companies in the US and it is a key indicator of the market performance. Naturally, it attracts a lot of attention as a potential investment. Over the past 10 years, the S&P 500 index has delivered a strong total return of almost 232%, but guess what? You can do even better. Let's talk about the Invesco Qqq Trust ETF. The Invesco Qqq Trust is an ETF that tracks the Nasdaq 100 index, which includes the 100 largest non-financial companies on the Nasdaq stock market. This ETF is unique because it gives you exposure to growth and innovation, with 51% of its holding in the information technology sector alone. The so-called Magnificent Seven tech giants have a significant presence in this ETF. These companies are leaders in their industries, focusing on innovation and disruption. They benefit from major trends like cloud computing, streaming, digital payments, digital advertising, and artificial intelligence. The tech sector's potential for huge return is a major draw for investors, but picking individual stocks can be tough. With the Invesco Qqq Trust ETF, you don't have to choose single stocks, rather you get broad-based exposure, which has proven effective in the past as well. Let's talk about Qqq ETF performance. While the S&P's 500 10-year return is impressive with 232%, it doesn't compare to the Invesco Qqq Trust ETF. In the past decade, Qqq Trust ETF has delivered a massive total return of almost 420% or an annualized return of almost 18.4%. This means that a $10,000 investment in July 2014 would be worth almost $55,000 today. This return far outpaces the S&P 500 and most active fund managers. Besides technology, the Qqq Trust ETF also includes communication services and consumer discretionary stocks, making up 15% and 13% of its total holdings. Low interest rates and minimal inflation over the past decade created a favorable environment for these companies and their stock prices to soar. In the last 1 year alone, the Invesco Qqq Trust ETF has returned almost 23%. You might think it costs a lot to own this fund, but it doesn't. The expense ratio is just 0.2%. So for every $10,000 invested, only $20 goes towards the annual fee. This means you keep more of your money over time in your fund. Currently, the Qqq ETF is trading 3% below its peak value from earlier this month. There is a talk that investors are moving money from big tech companies to smaller stocks, which might explain the recent dip in this ETF price. So is now a good time to invest in Qqq ETF? While future returns may not match past performance due to higher inflation and interest rates, long-term investors can still benefit. Patience and a long-term perspective are the key for investment. If you stay the course, the Invesco Qqq Trust ETF can reward you for many years to come. That's all for today's video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, happy investing.